Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with another episode of Comic Book Origins, where in this case we're talking about Stargirl. Now, Courtney Whitmore made her first appearance in Stars and Stripes, written by Jeff Johns and Lee Moder, and yes, that's the book that we are going to be taking a look at today. Stargirl was born out of tragedy. She's inspired by Jeff Johns' sister, who died in an explosion of the TWA Flight 800 in 1996. Stargirl, she's been around. She was on Justice League Unlimited. She's been in Brave and the Bold, Justice League Action, Young Justice. I loved her in Smallville, tell you the truth. I'm a huge Smallville fan, so that was really cool to me. And without further ado, let's kick back, relax, and get this party started.
I know you're gonna dig this.
We take a look at the cover first, and I'll tell you what, first thing that pops in mind is how the cover pops. Great use of color. I love the fact that, yes, they did include Stars and Stripes, in this case, Courtney Whitmore, right in the center there. While I do like the way that the cover is framed and the colors to it, not a big fan of the human's design, especially with Starman, who kind of looks like, I don't know, Tim Burton is playing Jonathan Crane, and they stole the cosmic rod and Splinter Cell's glasses. Otherwise, I got to give a good grade to this. This one definitely does the trick. And so the book begins not with a flashback, but a flash forward, saying that these events will actually occur in issues 8 and 9 of Stars and Stripes. After all, tomorrow gets here sooner or later. Tomorrow in Starlight. Among all the clutter in my life, I still think about him. He was like a son to me at a time when I didn't feel I had any. David was off at school, too caught up in his life there to return my phone calls. And Jack, well, Jack was Jack. Still recall the day I gave Sylvester the Cosmic Converter Belt, crafted from my own cosmic rod. It's not every day someone gives me the gift of flight, Starman, sir. He was always so polite. And now I guess things have come full circle. The Justice Society is back. A lot of new heroes are filling our old shoes. And correctly, for a change, Al would be very proud of Albert. But it's still strange. I mean, a new Dr. Midnight? A new Hour Man? I almost expected that. I just never thought there'd be another star in the sky. Jack Knight, is the son of the original Starman, continues my cosmically powered legacy in his own unorthodox way. Today, alongside Pat Dugan, formerly known as Stripesy, the original Star-Spangled Kid, a grown-up sidekick, Pat now wears the high-tech robotic armor known as Stripe in an effort to keep tabs on his stepdaughter, Courtney Whitmore, the new Star-Spangled Kid. And ladies and gentlemen, I give you the very first appearance of, well, Courtney Whitmore. She's not yet Stargirl. That's not going to happen until a whole other comic book, JSA All-Stars number 4. So there you go. And we see the heroes rushing towards what looks like the icicle, saying that he's trying to make his comeback, and they will help him out if he can defeat them. Obviously, he's going to stand out in a crowd. Now, Stripesy warns Stargirl about getting cocky and jumping towards the villain without looking and assessing everything. I'm assuming anyway. But then we find out, of course, Stripesy takes on damage and, needs repairs. But here's a weird thing. So, Stargirl, while she is saying, well, I'm the hero, Stripes is the sidekick, the villains seem to be more focused on Stripes. The Bears are more focused on Starman, and Courtney really just seems to be running randomly. Not really paying attention or being active or even proactive in anything that's going on this page. I mean, on this page, we even have Stripes saying, let the professionals take care of it, or the veterans, he says. And he said, take care of the thugs. But they're already unconscious. He says, exactly, go to school. And we see Stripes and Starman take care of everything. And I'm thinking, yes, of course, this is the way it's designed. I don't think any hero should look like a professional coming out of their first issue. That's just me. That's an old trope. I think it would be better done away with. We see Starman running into the alligator hut that Stripes threw the icicle into, and right behind him comes Stargirl. Woo, let me at him! And after that, Stripes bursts through the door, and we see Jack Knight just say, Dad, you owe me. And, of course, his dad does kind of agree with him, because he then says, I owe Jack. Wonder how he's doing with this new Star-Spangled Kid. I remember his last confrontation with the first one. Seems like it was just yesterday. Back in the 40s, Sylvester Pimbledon teamed up with his chauffeur Pat Dugan, becoming the Star-Spangled Kid and Stripesy, and they were a good team, always working together, or with the Seven Soldiers of Victory, a group we didn't hear a lot about. Until years later, we learned their members hadn't retired but had been scattered across time. With the help of the Justice League of America, we managed to rescue most of them days within their arrival in their various time periods. Sylvester had been taking shelter inside a cave in the year 14,000 BC for a week before Aquaman and the others brought him to the present. So when they arrived in our time, they were a little older than they were in the 40s, except for poor Vigilante stuck in the Old West for years. That Johnny Thunder never learned, but that's another story I'm sure Pat will share with Courtney someday. Pat didn't take being thrown into the future so well. He hung up his striped shirt, tried to start a new life too quickly, I think. Sylvester was different. I took him under my wing, gave him my cosmic rod and my spot in the Justice Society, and then Sylvester changed the rod into a belt, the Cosmic Converter Belt. I was really proud of that kid until the morning he came to visit Jack and me. And we see the meeting and find out that the only reason why he showed up was because the Ultra Humanite had sat on the converter belt and crushed it, so it wasn't working very well. Personally, these are the small touches I like that make you think they're kind of in a real world with dumb situations you know must happen from time to time. So they go to Ted's lab, and Sylvester drops a lot of names, and they're just kind of getting you into the fact that, okay, he's part of the Infinity Inc., and here's that guy, and here's that guy. And but Sylvester's actually saying, well, you see, I'm not a kid anymore, and I was thinking of a name change. And this is all a dialogue page. It's really just to show off how much of a jackass Jack is, in all honesty. In this case, he comes in, he's looking like he's Tim Burton in a really bad mood. They mention the hair and all that kind of stuff, drop a couple of Infinity Inc. names, and he walks out like, later, don't care what you have to say. Okay, my bad. Something I didn't get was this is all taking place before Jack became Starman. He's still a junk dealer, and yeah, they're having the whole you're a junk dealer, you don't know what real work is argument that they have in the Starman comic book by James Robinson. Brilliant, by the way. And we see that one thing Sylvester was there for is that he wants to do superheroics, so he needs something other than the belt, and in the end, they let him use the rod, and he just flies away to take care of the icicle, who they just got a report is causing all sorts of higgledy-piggledy downtown. And we cut back to modern day and back in that gator pit as we see Stripe, Starman, and Stargirl looking around, or at this point, Courtney, looking around for Icicle, and we hear Stripe say, go to search mode, vision adjusted. And Stargirl's like, what, are you looking for a heat signature? No, a cold one, but there's nothing. And that's when a gator jumps out of the water to attack everybody, but Starman shoots him with a blast, causing him to go away. Stargirl gets a little peeved at this, and he's like, what is this, a PETA meeting? Man, you're worse than Captain Marvel. And then Starman gets hit in the head with a chunk of ice, and we see Icicle standing. Well, I guess alligators are just as deadly as polar bears. Yeah, I guess I really haven't ever seen any alligators attack an icicle, so if he does have a lower heat signature, okay. Icicle blasts towards... The icicle shoots a blast at Stargirl. She jumps away. It hits a tree, and she jumps behind into some bushes. Thinks he's so smart. We see Starman. He's reviving and says he needs an aspirin, which Stripes just says extra or regular strength and opens up his little first aid kit. That's when Icicle is looking for Stargirl. A nice kick in the back of the head should... And that's when her cell phone begins to ring. Not now, shut up, shut up. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, millennials. We see Courtney dodging a whole bunch of snowballs and snow knives and all that kind of stuff and find out it's her mom on the other end. Mom's baking cookies, as moms used to do. And she's saying, hey, everything's going okay and all that. Are you guys getting along? And he's like, oh, God, he's so annoying. And she's like, Courtney, don't start. And then just says bring something back from Opal City when Courtney comes across a frozen couple of sidekicks, I guess. Starman and Stripes are frozen and solid. And she's like, well, normally this would be a good thing. And then, of course, she gets icicled to a wall. And we see Icicle move in on her. While she's doing that, he's saying, you know why my father was never successful? Because he was as dumb as you? No, you brat. Because he never crossed the line. He never did anything but rob jewelry stores. He was only interested in money, not power. And he never killed anyone. And we flash back to the Star-Spangled Kid, who is facing down Icicle, or at least he's on his way to. We see the Icicle freeze a cop, saying that he'll be okay in an hour. He's going to thaw out in an hour. Star-Spangled Kid arrives, saying, this must be the place. You think? It's covered in ice. And when he gets there, he sees the cops. They're frozen solid. So he takes a little time out to unfreeze the cops. Cosmic Rod should melt them out. You guys okay? Thanks. He's inside. Watch out. He's armed. And he sees the Icicle. Aren't you a little old for this? You don't have the Injustice Society here to back you up, Icicle. And you don't have the Justice Society, kid. Now back off. And they both fire at each other with the energy and the ice meeting in the middle. The Icicle claims that unless I get my 4 million opals out of water for good. And Star-Spangled Kid says, I don't think so. And blasts at him. He ends up getting shot, dropping the rod, hiding behind a wall. Damn it! The Icicle continues to fire at him, keeping pressure on, freezing the rod. I was hoping to go up against the real Starman. The Shade said he needed a good challenge. But Sylvester sees a fire extinguisher. It says, contents under high pressure. Keep away from extreme heat or extreme cold. He throws the fire extinguisher at Icicle, who blasts through it. Time to put this fire out, says Star-Spangled Kid. The fire extinguisher explodes all over the Icicle, trapping him. You're small potatoes, pal, and it's not the Star-Spangled Kid. It's time you guys started calling me Starman. This angers the Icicle, who breaks apart from his icy prison and fires at the Star-Spangled Kid, or Starman at this point. The Cosmic Rod is great, but I wish I had my belt. And we flash back to the present. I was with Injustice Unlimited when my fellow member Harley Quinn orchestrated the murder of the original Star-Spangled Kid. It was so much fun, we all got pretty drunk that night. So you're a jerk and an alcoholic. My father was defeated by heroes like you over and over, but he didn't have the guile and aggression I have. And thanks to Dad's prolonged exposure to that freeze gun of his, I have the natural ability to generate ice to freeze molecules in the air or the blood in your body. So Courtney kicks him in the nuts. And why not? Just saying. Why the heck not? And she says, this is for the first kid. And we also see Stripes and Starman break out of their icy cell. Starman saying, thank you, Cosmic Rod. Stripes tries to help Stargirl. Back off, Robot Man. I can do it myself. Shut up and let me help you. Starman blasts the Icicle. I've really had my fill of unwelcome guests today. And Icicle goes flying into the alligator pit, where the gators now seem to be a little bit interested. And this coincides with a flashback where we see the Icicle burst through a window, and we see the police saying, yeah, this is Billy O'Dare. You heard me. Cancel backup. I repeat, cancel backup. Over. Oh, it's you. I thought Starman was taking care of this. I was in the area, says Star-Spangled Kid, now Starman. Thought I'd help you out. I'll have my revenge, says Icicle, out cold. That's the way we like 'em. Thanks, kid. We can always use another hero in Opal. Anytime, Star-Spangled Kid says and flies away. And we cut to Ted and Jack. They're basically talking, and once again, Jack is a junk dealer to Ted. Instead, of course, we see it as he's into collectibles. Or, as he says, some people will pay me good money for, and that's when Ted says, stuff I don't want. He says, thanks again for the vote of confidence. Give Spangles my best, Pop. See you whenever. And we see Ted saying, oh, son, when will you make your old man proud? When will I get to brag about my children? We see Star-Spangled Kid fly in through the roof. Everything's back to normal at the plant. Icicle's in custody, and, oh, you're back. Good. Sylvester, I want you to do something for me. And he does ask Star-Spangled Kid to be the next Starman, and he just replies, I can't, Ted. I can't be the next Starman. Cutting back to modern day, we see Stripes worried that Stargirl's gonna catch a cold. Whatever, I could take care of myself, Stripesy. Starman's lifting the icicle out of the alligator pit. I should leave you here. And we see the zookeeper coming in. Oh no, my exhibit. Whoa, this is worse than what they did to the gym. And we see basically the extent of all the damage done. And apparently the young lady who was looking at all the damage knows that Stargirl's Courtney, even says, "Way to go, Courtney. Hey, Mary, look what I did." And Stripes is like, "Watch it. Remember the secret identity thing." "What? I'm just waving." "Everything's taken care of here. Now we have a bus to catch." Oh, I love bus rides. And we see Starman flying along. But why? And we flash back. Why won't you be Starman? It seems like a natural step. Yeah, I guess it does. I'd like to, but I can't. I'm sorry. I do promise you, though, Ted, he says, picking up the star that Jack dropped on his way out. There will be another Starman. I better get going. But what about the belt? Gold wasn't my color anyway. Clashed with a costume. I'll figure something out. I always do. And we see Sylvester walk outside the house where he meets Jack. Off on another costumed adventure. And Sylvester hands him the star, which we know eventually he will wear on his jacket. And Jack just kind of looks at it and says, "Thanks. See you around, Jack." "Yeah, have fun in the sky, man." Sky Man. And that was the last time Jack saw him. And the last time we ever really talked. His decision at the time wasn't easy to understand. It makes perfect sense now. He knew Jack better than I did. I worked all through the night. I wanted to do something for Sylvester, and Jay Garrick owed me a favor, so I got free overnight delivery, and Sylvester got a new belt to match his costume, and I even sent a note saying, "I know how much you like being in the sky. I hope you'll find this more suitable to your color scheme. Always your friend, Ted." And he died not long after. I kept the golden belt. It got lost in the shuffle over the years until Miss Sun found it in the Jack shop. And we see the trio coming back into Ted's lab here, looking all disheveled. "How'd it go? You all right, son?" Don't you have a GPS in there, or at least a compass? Brainiac here got lost, ended up in Turk County, and we missed the school bus back to Blue Valley." "Well, it's easy to get lost when you're not from Opal." "How do they look? Want to make sure they're up to the job." "Oh, fine. The thruster should get you back to Blue Valley with no problem. And if you have any more questions about that belt, just give me a ring." And we see Jack look to Stargirl. "Well, it's getting late, so you should get going. Don't let the door hit you on the way out." "Hey, I can't wait to get out of here. You're almost as lame as..." "Oh, hey, cool tattoos. I'm getting one like that. Maybe some barbed wire around my ankle." "No, you're not, Courtney. No tattoos. Actually, a little shooting star would work." "Yeah, don't encourage her," we see Stripes saying. "This is a pretty good one, too. I lost them all in space, but I had one redone. The one on my back are new." "Cool." "I said no." "Why not? Your mom would kill me. Time to jet. Thrusters ready?" "I think Sylvester would be proud he's not forgotten. It's nice to know that the Star-Spangled Kid lives again, at least for now." And we see Star-Spangled Kid and Stripes flying off, arguing about if she's going to get a tattoo or not. So there you go, gang. The very first appearance of, well, Courtney Whitmore as Star-Spangled Kid. Now, Stargirl really doesn't appear until JSA All-Stars number 4. It's weird the way people do the first appearances these days. It's not a pat answer all the way across the board. Anyway, what did you think about this comic? Personally, I gotta say it's a lot of fun. I liked it. I liked this a lot. I had a great time reading it. Once again, it's a very vibrant comic book. It's an adventure story. It's a great introduction to the character, to tell you the truth. I enjoyed that as well. Granted, she is a bit insufferable when it comes to the fact that she is a young teenager, but she's 14. Trust me, 14-year-old girls aren't insufferable. I've got 2 daughters. I really do think that everything was appropriate, and I think it was done. This is actually less appropriate than what we saw right here. So what'd you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you liked the video, check out this one starring Red Sonja as we go over her origin as well. Also, don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell if you haven't done it already. If you don't mind helping out the channel, going over to Ko-Fi, drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos for you. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that. To everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.